Most people don't fail their goals because they're lazy. They fail because the goal was doomed from the start. You say, I'm gonna get fit, I'm gonna study harder, I'm gonna change my life. Then 2 weeks later, nothing changes. Not because you don't want it badly enough, but because your brain hates vague instructions. Luckily, there is a simple 3-step system that fixes that. Step 1. Stop setting outcome goals. Most people focus on the finish line. Lose 20 pounds, get rich, get straight A's. But your brain can't act on outcomes. It can only act on behaviors. Think about it. Get fit sounds motivating until your brain asks, okay, what do we actually do? And usually, there's no clear answer. That's why process goals work better. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, say, I will walk for 30 minutes every morning. Instead of, I want better grades, say, I will study chemistry from 7 to 8 p.m. every weekday. One is a wish, the other is instructions. And the brain loves instructions. Olympic athletes don't wake up thinking about gold medals every hour. Writers don't obsess over finished books every second. They focus on the process, the repeatable action. Because process creates results, whether you feel motivated or not. And that's step 1. Turn goals into behaviors. However, even good behaviors fail for one reason. They're just too big, too ambitious. Step 2. Make the goal stupidly easy. At first, this sounds wrong. People think difficult goals are more impressive. So they say things like, I'm going to study 6 hours a day. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. every morning. I'm quitting sugar forever. Then, after a few days, they burn out and quit because your brain treats huge changes like a threat. But tiny actions feel safe. That's why many of the world's best habit researchers recommend starting small. If you want to work out, just do 5 push-ups. If you want to read more, then just read 1 page. Because starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, your brain stops resisting and momentum takes over. Small actions repeated daily become identity. A person who studies once in a while hopes to become disciplined, but a person who studies every day, even for just 10 minutes already is. That's the difference. But there's still one more problem. Even with a clear goal, even with small steps, most people still quit. Not because the goal is hard, but because the environment is stronger than the goal. Step 3. Remove friction. Imagine trying to eat healthy while your desk is covered in snacks, or trying to study while your phone lights up every 30 seconds. Willpower loses that battle almost every time, because humans naturally choose the path of least resistance. Your environment quietly shapes your behavior, more than motivation ever will. That's why successful people make good habits easier and bad habits harder. If you want to read more, leave the book on your pillow. If you want to study, put your phone in another room. If you want to work out, prepare your clothes the night before. The less friction between you and the habit, the more likely it happens. And the opposite is true too. Sometimes, one extra step is enough to destroy a bad habit. So try turning off notifications, keep junk food out of the house. If you keep distractions out of reach, these small barriers will end up making a massive difference. Most people wait for motivation before they act, but motivation is unreliable. Systems are reliable. That's why some people seem disciplined without struggling all the time. They design their life to make good decisions automatic. And once you understand that, goal setting stops being motivational. It becomes mechanical. Clear behavior, tiny start, less friction. That's the system, and it works for almost anything. Studying, fitness, learning a skill, even changing your life. Most people set goals they hope they'll follow. The people who actually succeed build goals their brain can execute. Thank you so much for watching, and I genuinely hope you succeed in every goal you set for yourself.